The headlines. As warnings grow about China's threat to Taiwan, we have a special report from the island's front line.
This across here is the Chinese city of Xiamen, one of the wealthiest cities in China. And this behind me here, this is the Taiwanese military outpost called Lion Rock.
Fears for the safety of an Iranian athlete who took part in a climbing competition without a hijab. And as the BBC celebrates its 100th anniversary, we look ahead at the challenges it faces.
The worst drought Somalia has seen in 40 years, the stark warning from the United Nations as aid camps admit a starving child every minute.
You get a good idea here of how quickly this crisis is starting to accelerate, with 300 or even 400 people now arriving at this one small camp every day now.
More than 1,000 towns and villages across Ukraine are left without power after Russia's latest bombardment targets power plants. President Biden promises a national law on abortion rights if Democrats keep control of Congress in the midterm elections.
With your support, I'll sign a law codifying Roe in January. Together, let's remember who we are. We are the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity.
Netflix reverses a drop in customer numbers as a stream of new programs helps it sign up almost 2.5 million new households.
A New York court has ordered a French cement company to pay nearly $780 million for its payouts to the so-called Islamic State group during the war in Syria. Lafarge admitted that it had paid the terrorist organization and other armed groups money in exchange for protection of its staff at its plant in Kobane. Aid workers in Somalia say children suffering from severe malnutrition are being admitted for medical treatment at the rate of 1 a minute. The UN fears that many thousands more have been unable to get help because of insecurity caused by Islamist militants. The worst drought in 40 years has left nearly half the population needing help.
Let's take a brief look at some of the day's other main news now. The British Prime Minister Liz Truss has been trying to bolster support for her leadership by meeting MPs to try and get them on side. Downing Street insists that her full focus is on the challenges facing the country. She's likely to face difficult questions in Parliament on Wednesday. The Florida county devastated by Hurricane Ian last month has seen a surge in cases of flesh-eating bacteria illnesses and deaths. Lee County recorded 29 illnesses and 4 deaths due to the infections. The bacteria lives in warm, brackish water like standing floodwaters.
Now, Indonesia has announced plans to demolish the football stadium where at least 131 fans died in a stampede earlier this month. Meeting the head of world football, Gianni Infantino, President Joko Widodo said that the Kanjuruhan Stadium in Malang will be rebuilt according to safety standards set by the sport's governing body, FIFA.